fine.
I guess so.
Yeah. Mark.
This is Mark and I'm Rob.
Oh, hi,
How
Rob.
are you? Pleased to meet you.
Hi, Mark.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Michael.
Elena.
Elena?
Nice to meet you.
Hiya. So grab your car and come on up here.
Okay.
And let's roll.
You're in the red Jeep?
No, actually, I'm in Space Buick. Space Buick.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. Tonight we're with Michael here in Sedona, Arizona. He has a business called Arizona UFO Tours. He's taking us up to the airport as our very first place to go. We're going to just check out what might be seen from up here. He's going to have lots of stories to tell us too. This is going to be a great spot up here.
You know, the thing about this tour is, you know, you're here to see a UFO or, you know, a spacecraft. So we are seeing spacecraft that are part of our Space Force, and I'm going to show you different kinds. If we see the black triangles flying in formation, I'll tell you about them and who they are. The shuttle ships that go back and forth to the 7 space stations that you don't know about probably, I'll inform you about that, and in the space stations and what the space stations are made of. So I'm going to give you a little history on me, because like I said, you're really not here to see UFOs, you're really here to get a piece of information from me. That information will hopefully defeat a fear so that you can reach a goal that you haven't been able to reach because that fear has been stopping you. Now, fears can be everything from jealousy to doubt to self-loathing to there's all kinds of modes of fear. So hopefully I'm going to sense a piece of information that you need, but many times it all rests on a question that you ask. So if you ask a specific question, and I don't care what topic it's on, you can ask me any question on any topic, I'll have the answer because of my download that I got from ET in 2001, and I'll get to that story shortly. I'm a scientist, I'm a mathematician, I'm a physicist. I got my degree in computer science, my bachelor's degree in computer science in 16 months, straight A's, summa cum laude, set records at the university. I'd never seen anything like that before. I taught the macroeconomics class because the teacher didn't know how to draw a supply-demand curve, if you can imagine that. So I got my degree as I was working, doing DoD missile and satellite systems for the United States government through a contractor, and I did that for 10 years, and I worked on every missile that hangs on an F-14, the OG-9 weapon system itself. I sealed the Galileo probe that went to Jupiter. I worked on satellite systems and the space shuttle, some of the space shuttle technology, which is really pretty old and feeble compared to what we really had at the time. I've been involved in airplanes and aerospace and that kind of stuff since I was a little kid, because my stepfather was an executive in the airline industry. So I've been watching airplanes very closely, and I watched when they went from full jet engines on DC-8s and 707s to the turbofan engines that they now have on the Airbuses and Boeings, the 757s and such. So at the age of 2, in 1960 in San Diego, California, at the age of 2, I received a download of basically all mathematics through analytical geometry. And I didn't know where it came from, of course. I just had math, and I knew math before I knew English. Math is creator's language. It's the only truth that there really is. And I've been seeing everything in my entire life as math, formulas, and numbers. I saw you immediately, you were all formulas and numbers to me. And every one of you is human. You got a little bit of not human. Human. So I can tell a human when I sit next to him, I can tell a non-human when I sit next to him. That's not something you find very often on the surface. There's a lot of activity, non-human activity under the surface and in space, but not so much on the surface. But every once in a while, you'll find someone. It just doesn't, the numbers don't add up. It's like that body, it just doesn't seem right. And your gut goes, oh, I'm not so sure about that. Well, listen to your gut, because often it's telling you what's going on. So at the age of 7 and a half, I know I was 7 and a half, because when you're 7 and a half, that half is important. I was 7 and a half in 1966 in Glendale, California, and I woke up one night from a dream with 2.5 billion years of the solar system's history in my head. I knew everything of how the solar system was created, who was here originally, who came late, who hit who swapped what, who brought the moon here, stabilized the Earth after it had been knocked over because Venus was a rogue planet that went around the sun the wrong way. All this kind of stuff. I had all this information talking about rogue planets in 1966. By the way, nobody was talking about rogue planets. Not any scientific paper or anything was talking about it. And when I talked to my teachers about it, they would say, you're wrong. And I would say, no, you're wrong. So I got to meet the principal every year in the school. It was always good. But I knew that I was right because the information was just so clear and so true in my gut to me. And now I'm a contactee. So I'm face to face with a contactee. Now, while I was working on these programs for the government, I was above top secret with some letters beyond that. And I won't even say what they are because you're not allowed to know that. But I was working on above top secret stuff, and I've got a lot of photographic memory. I've got a lot of information in my brain. And I'm thinking that these guys are here to get my information. Like I'm all that. As if. So I come around and I find them, I see them, and I scan them, and I'll tell you what I saw in a second, and I'm staring at their chins because I was in a group called the Inner Circle in Phoenix, and our job was to uncover government cover-ups, and we uncovered a lot of government cover-ups like Kincaid's Cave and Turret Mountain and a few other things that now you'll get some people looking stuff up. So I was told by that group called the Inner Circle never to look into ET's eyes, because if you look into ET's eyes, you get hypnotized. Well, I've already been hypnotized or floated down the hall. I didn't want any more of that. So I'm staring at their chins, and I'm thinking as fast as I can telepathically, who are you, where you're from, who are you, where you're from, where are you from, where are you from, like this, like a bulldog defense. They're not getting in my brain. Who are you, where you're from? And that is when they blanked my brain. I could not put 4 words together. Think of me as a White House occupant. Okay, so I couldn't make a sentence. They're tricking me, they're distracting me, they're going to get in my brain. So I came back in slow motion so they'd know I wasn't afraid, and telepathically I'm saying, who are you? Where are you? I didn't even get to from. And of the 3 beings that were standing in front of me, the one on my right, which would be their left, just moved a hand like this. That's all it was, just a quick move of the hand like this. And there appeared in front of that being this portal, this piece of space, this like X-Acto knife cutout, like a shield-shaped thing that was all of a sudden in front of this being. I couldn't see their leg or anything. And it was the most surreal thing I've ever seen. I've been a 3D animator since 1990. I've seen some surreal stuff. I saw the 3D airplanes hit the towers. I mean, I really understood right away that that was just 3D animation. And this, though, however, looked like I could have dived into it and been in space. It was that real.